In 2017, I set out to read 25 books in 12 months. I realized that as I was getting older, I was reading less and less. But what I really did was read 32 books that year. And through that experience, I observed 4 things. The first is that reading unlocks your imagination. Reading also expands your horizons. Reading teaches you to empathize, and reading should just be a joy. Do you remember when we first learned to read as children? See, spot, jump, see, spot, run, see, spot, jump, and run. Little did I know that learning to read would lead to hours of countless hours of entertainment, reading whatever I could get my hands on. Tom Swift, the Hardy Boys, Choose Your Own Adventures, basically all the nerd greats. That turned into reading for school, which then turned into reading as a young adult for enjoyment, novels, biographies, etc. Reading unlocks my imagination. From the moment that I open a book, I am Scott Kelly in the International Space Station. I am Alexander having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I am the soldiers on Iwo Jima, or I am Saru Brearley, finally finding his birth mother after 25 years of searching. If you have not read his book, A Long Way Home, I would suggest that you do so immediately. I read to my kids every single night, and they love it. We do the whole bit. We do voices, we read the books 5 times in a row, we sing the words to the books, and I can see those books and those stories come to life in their imaginations through their eyes and their smiles. And it reminds me of when I was a child, and I love it. Reading expands my horizons. Dreams and ideas are born simply from reading books. Everything around me fades as I lose myself in the story, and the fact that that story can exist over an entire book or books is amazing and quite inspiring. I read slow, every word, and if I don't get it, I go back and read it again. And every time I open a book, I feel like my world is so big until I see the words on the page and realize just how small my existence is. Reading teaches me to empathize. 5 words. That could have been me. I am doing my best to read books that challenge my thinking, because it's in that challenge that I'm inspired to action, and those actions make me a better human. The world is infinitely colorful and filled with people and places that I will never meet or see, but for all of those things that I will never experience in person, there are books. And I am afraid that I was almost forgetting the fact that there is a world that shows me the humanity all within books, right at my fingertips. Reading should be a joy. I spent most of 2017 reading books that would challenge me as a person and help my business. And they were great. I really enjoyed it. But if I'm honest, at times it was a little bit tedious. And then it hit me. Reading a novel for me is like a palate cleanser. It is that little glass of sparkling water that I am served with my espresso, and it provides me just enough of a break between something that's heavy in order to get my mind right and read the next book that will challenge my thinking. As I was reading my last book of 2017, a novel, it hit me. It's okay for reading to be an act of escape. I need fantastic stories and impossible scenarios and amazing characters to give my mind a much-needed vacation. So here's my challenge. Read. Read anything. Go to the library, go to the bookstore, find something you're interested in, and then after that, get an account on Goodreads.com. You can set up a reading list, you can set a reading challenge if you'd like, and then I want you to friend me, Clint Williams 24, and I can see what you're reading and you can see what I'm reading, and it is a blast. I want to read as if I have just discovered that I can read. See what happens when you unlock your imagination. See what happens as you expand your horizons. See what happens as you learn to empathize better. And then just enjoy the experience. One of my favorite books, To Kill a Mockingbird, is written by Harper Lee. And she had this to say about reading. Until I feared I would lose it, I never loved to read. One does not love breathing. So if you take one thing away from our time together tonight, please make it this. Go home, get that book off the shelf that's been gathering dust, pick it up, dust it off, and read it. Thank you.